Shizuoka stretches like a painter's brushstroke along the Pacific coast between Tokyo and Nagoya, its horizons crowned by the snow-brushed cone of Mount Fuji, and its valleys perfumed with the aroma of fresh-plucked green tea. Samurai once marched these roads, poets composed verses beside rushing rivers, and today, travelers ride sleek bullet trains into a landscape that slips effortlessly from cedar-shadowed shrines to surf-kissed beaches. To feel the prefecture's pulse in one memorable journey, follow these 8 destinations, each revealing a different facet of Shizuoka's quietly spectacular charm. 1. Miho no Matsubara. On clear mornings, the black sand shore of Miho no Matsubara becomes a living ukiyo-e print. 6 kilometers of wind-bent pine trees framing Mount Fuji as it rises beyond Suruga Bay. Legend says a celestial maiden hung her feathered robe on one of these very pines. Today, couples collect pine needles for luck, and photographers wait for that split second when Fuji's peak blushes pink at dawn. Wander the coastal path, feel volcanic sand warming your feet, and listen as white caps rush ashore like distant taiko drums. A chorus that has inspired poets since the 8th century Manyoshu. 2. Kunozan Toshogu. Before his spirit was enshrined in Nikko, Shogun Tokugawa Ieyasu asked to rest high above Shizuoka City on Mount Kuno. The result is Kunozan Toshogu, a riot of vermilion beams, lacquered carvings, and gilded chrysanthemum crests reached by a climb of 1,100 stone steps. Brave the ascent beneath camphor trees, and at the summit, intricate dragons curl around pillars lacquered so deeply they still gleam after 4 centuries. Museum galleries display Ieyasu's indigo war banner and a European flintlock gifted by a Spanish envoy, relics that whisper of a shogun who balanced iron resolve with worldly curiosity. 3. Nihondaira and the Shizuoka Ropeway. Drive or cycle the switchbacks of Nihondaira Plateau, and tea terraces unfurl in emerald tiers toward an ever-present Fuji. At the observatory deck, twin panoramas compete for your gaze. One of snow-crowned peaks, the other of Shimizu Port, where crimson cargo cranes resemble origami cranes standing sentinel. Board the ropeway, drifting over a bamboo-thick ravine, and 7 minutes later step onto Kunōzan's shrine grounds, swapping modern engineering for Edo-era grandeur in the span of a breath. 4. Fuji-Hakone-Izu National Park, Southern Slopes. While most travelers circle Fuji's northern lakes, Shizuoka keeps the volcano's quieter face. From the Fujinomiya 5th Station trailhead, trek through dwarf birch and lava fields that crunch like antique pottery under hiking boots. Then sip water from sacred Wakutama springs, bubbly and ice-cold even in midsummer. If ascent isn't on your agenda, settle into an open-air Rotenboro at Mount Fuji Yamanosui Hot Spring Resort, where mineral steam frames the summit like a living postcard, and the scent of hinoki wood lingers on your skin long after you towel off. 5. Shiraito and Otodome Falls, 10 kilometers north of Fujinomiya City. Shiraito Falls spills from a cliff in hundreds of silken ribbons, each thread fed by Fuji's subterranean snowmelt. The plunge pool shimmers cobalt, and mist beads on mossy rocks like liquid jewels. A short path leads to thunderous Otodome Falls, whose name, sound-stopping, recalls a tale of samurai plotting revenge, their voices drowned by the roar. Taste grilled river trout sold by elderly vendors in straw hats, and feel the mountain's lifeblood on your tongue, pure, cold, and laced with the faint sweetness of alpine soil. 6. Izu Peninsula's Jogasaki Coast. The Izu Peninsula curves into the Pacific like a beckoning hand, and along its eastern edge, jagged lava cliffs meet sapphire waves in dramatic collisions. The Jogasaki Picnical Course winds above this shoreline, crossing the Kadawaki suspension bridge that sways gently 60 feet over foaming tide pools. In spring, fields of bright orange, Kawazu Sakura, bloom weeks earlier than Tokyo's Sakura. Front and seaside cafes serve wasabi leaf. Pizzas paired with craft ales brewed from local spring water. Pause at a lookout, and you may spot surfers threading lone barrels or hawks riding thermals, each carving their own path across sky or sea. 7. Hamamatsu and Lake Hamana. Shizuoka's western hub, Hamamatsu, hums with musical heritage. Yamaha and kawaii pianos were born here, and an endless appetite for unagi. Tour the Museum of Musical Instruments, where 1,300 artifacts, from Mesopotamian lyres to Moog synthesizers, wait behind glass, then board a lake cruiser on brackish Hamana for sunset. Local eel farmers haul bamboo traps from mirror-still water, and nearby restaurants, charcoal grill fillets, brushed with caramel dark tear. One bite reveals why poets praised Hamamatsu eel as moonlight on the tongue. 8. Kawane tea plantations and the Oigawa Steam Railway. Follow the Oigawa River inland, and cedar-sheathed mountains cradle terraces of emerald tea that has scented imperial courts since the Tokugawa era. At a family-run plantation in Kawan, roll glossy leaves between your palms, then sip a first flush sencha so vibrant it tastes like spring itself. Below the fields, the Oigawa Steam Railway whistles through valleys in chocolate-brown carriages, crossing iron trusses above jade rapids. Lean from the window, soot flecking your cheeks, and wave at children who chase plumes of white steam the way others chase cherry blossom petals. 8. Destinations, yet they barely trace Shizuoka's full silhouette. They say the prefecture shaped Japan's palate. Its tea, its eel, its wasabi, and its psyche, gifting the nation an icon in Mount Fuji. But statistics and guidebook blurbs miss Shizuoka's deeper alchemy. The hush that falls when pine needles stir at Miho, the moment Shiraito's mist cools your sun-warmed face, the taste of sea salt carried on Jogasaki winds. Spend 8 minutes reading or 8 days wandering, and one truth becomes clear. Shizuoka doesn't shout for attention. It waits, patient as a tea master, until you lift the cup and discover a world steeped in quiet wonder.